Hi, welcome to the Market Alert for Monday, the 19th of January 2025. So stocks dip, gold, oil and crypto rip as Trump triggers a chaotic week, and that's for last week. It's not going to be any better this week. Broadening out trade accelerates as geopolitical uncertainty has soared. And on Friday, US yields march higher as Trump seemingly dismisses Hassett for Fed chair. Now this is interesting as well because he was a favourite because he was inclined to want to cut rates, which is what Trump wants. But as you'll see, just to make things worse for the US government, he's now got the Fed chair Powell. It's out at unprecedented probe by US Justice. So he's under the cosh because there's no love lost between Trump and Powell. So he's under investigation, and Hassett has seemingly been dismissed as the next Fed chair, even though, like I say, he's inclined to want to cut rates for Trump. Maybe this is a sort of look over here, don't look there situation. But like I say, the situation between Powell and Trump is appearing to escalate. Everything seems to be escalating under Trump, doesn't it? So silver 100% above its 200-day average. Silver 104% above the 200-day moving average. Most overbought since 1980. Take no notice. The fundamentals are far too strong for this not to continue to move higher. Yes, you're going to get pullbacks, but the fundamentals are all in place. It's like the banks don't want you to use your cash and put it into physical, and therefore removing any third-party risk. Venezuela, silver and Greenland. How the US-China power split is reshaping the world. This is strategic calculation in a fragmented world order. And so again, no surprise there. It's about who can actually claim. Greenland the same. It's about capturing minerals and strategic minerals at that as well, which silver has become a strategic metal. So no surprise there whatsoever. Economic news, well, there's nothing today from the US. It's Martin Luther King Day, so no news today. Can't see much in here unless we've got Friday. Let's have a look at Friday. We haven't got non-payrolls. We only had that the other week, so nothing to shout about. We've got inflation for the UK, which shows a slight increase of 0.1 if the figures are correct. And then, of course, all week we've got the WEF meetings, of which I noticed Farage is actually attending, so that's his future sealed, frankly. Anybody that's awake knows that the World Economic Forum's 2030 agenda is to enslave the population, which is why also, if you have a look for it, you'll see that when Starmer was interviewed by Emily Maitlis on Channel 4 in the run-up to the UK election, she said to him, Westminster or Davos, and Davos is where all of the ruling elite, the very rich and wealthy people, meet every January in Switzerland. And his reply was Davos. So we know what the agenda is, as we've all seen with the immigration situation and all the rest of it. It's all engineered to happen, let's put it that way, by 2030. Digital currency, digital IDs, social credit system, along with cryptocurrencies as well. So that's why these meetings are happening. It's unbelievable. I've said Lagarde there. Also, she's speaking as well. In fact, speaking of Lagarde, on Christmas Eve, paperwork was signed off for the digital euro while everybody else is considering or looking at buying Christmas presents. And she's out twice this week. So, yeah, an interesting week. But Davos week this week, there must be a day four somewhere within all of that, unless they have a break, because they are renowned for shipping in the best, shall we say, prostitutes, which was in the Daily Mail last year as well. It's an unseemly, horrible, totalitarian agenda behind the scenes. And if not, go and have a look. Go and look up Agenda 30 or some of the videos on YouTube and you'll see what I mean. Like I said, I don't want to go down the political rabbit hole, but that's what this is all about. Right, there's the day 3 one as well, WEF meeting. So they don't have a day off. But there we go. Right, let's have a look at the markets and kick off with the Dow. So all stock markets, we'll just widen this out a bit and zoom in. you will see they have gapped lower because of Trump wanting to take over Greenland. That's escalated over the weekend as well. So the Dow has gapped lower, and of course with gaps they like to fill them. So we found some support now at the S2 as well. So this gap needs to be filled. If it isn't, then it'll just confirm the weakness in the stock market. But normally you will see the gaps being filled. In the German DAX, also we have a gap down as well, which there again you've got to see that gap from the close to the open. Big gap that is. In fact, let's just have a look and see how big some of these gaps are. So from the close of Friday to the open, this is just a ballpark figure, 231 point gap. That's a big gap, so I wouldn't be surprised at all to see that come back. In the 30-minute chart, we'll see that a lot more clearly, and again you can see they're finding support at the moment past the S3 as well. Usually if the market goes through the S3, it'll want to try and get back. Now, failure to do this and the market taking these green lines out down here, the market will accelerate to the downside. But 90+% of the time, the market will want to get back above that S3. In the S&P, same thing as well. You can see the gap there as well from the open. The close of Friday to the open, quite a big gap there as well. 30-minute, you can see it there in a bit more detail. The same for the UK as well, but the UK interestingly has already come off the low. So let's have a look there. I'm actually again in the UK. Let's just, out of curiosity, Friday's close to the open. You'll see there 101 points, which is a fairly big move for the FT these days. So let's have a look. We went through the S3. We see the buying coming in and the market making its way back. So there's an example of wanting to get back above the S3 pivot level there. So in the US dollar overnight, which is I'm surprised by actually, you can see there that it's actually sold off, which is very unusual given the run that we've had up recently. It's trying to get back above the 100 level. Let's see if it manages to do this. So let's have a look at the metals, and let's kick off with the Far East, Shanghai, Monday the 19th of January. It's at $102.33. That's more or less where it finished during Friday's session as well. So in the silver market, we have a gap up, not a gap down. So have a look at this in more detail. We've also got a new all-time high of $94.07. Let's just have a look at that. So the gap's not too big in the silver market, and given the fundamentals and everything else behind it, I'd be very surprised if they can actually fill that gap. But we'll wait and see. Particularly, seems to be at the moment a race to obtain as much silver as possible. Who'd have thought this this time last year when it was sitting at $25 an ounce? Gold also managing to gap higher as well, which we can see there jumping over the all-time high, and then we can see there 4682, but we've also got an all-time high to the left as well in the gold chart, which you can see there with that pink line. That's how far back have we got to go to actually pick that up. So no, I don't know where that's coming from. That seems to be slightly odd, I have to say myself. This has got to be the all-time high, 4682. I don't know where that's coming from. Let's just have a look on a monthly chart. No, I don't know what's going on there. So obviously a bit of dodgy data there. But the all-time high, 4682, up from 4639 there from the previous all-time high. So that's good news as well. 30-minute chart for gold, which is not that chart. It's got to be around here somewhere. There we go. So yeah, moving higher, you can see the gap. Obviously uncertainty with geopolitical events, it's only going to get worse going forward, and no doubt so we'll all be discussing that behind the scenes in Davos this week as well. Well, like I say, just going back to that, Farage has done himself no favours. He's no different than the rest of them, whether it's Starmer, Farage, Kemi Badenoch, all of them, they all attend and they're all members of it. So that's why nothing changes when you get an election and a manifesto and they all lie, because they're doing Klaus Schwab's bidding there. Anyway, let's have a look at the gold-silver ratio, and you'll see it's fairly sideways with support at the moment down at the 50 level. So let's have a quick look through Friday's price action in the German DAX 2-minute chart. So in the pre-market session, the market found support at the close and then has moved back to the upside in the pre-market. We spike in the cash market when it opens, and then we get a move to the downside, which is interesting to see this before prices stabilize and down towards the DP and the 200 MA, where prices find support initially but then break, as you can see there, and then say, okay, we'll have a clear out, let's get rid of a few of the stops that are going to be below this level, and then we'll bring the market back. Then we had some news, and then the market is brought back. That's the playbook. Back down again to the 200 MA, and you'll see from there to there you've got an 89% retracement. Need to get back above the 200 MA and the DP, and then prices trade sideways. Let's move on to the afternoon. Market making a new low there with the close from Thursday, and then the breakthrough, and then come back, and then it gets moved lower, as we saw with the Dow on Friday and all of the other US indices, and market coming back. We have a losing trade there as prices had a shakeout, and then they were brought back, and then we had a second one as well as the market moved back to the upside there and the close. So yeah, choppy afternoon for the German DAX there. What are we doing currently overnight? Let's just have a quick look. So at the moment, the market, if we just squash the chart up, because you can see we're below the S3, we need to get back above this. So a bit of selling coming in and ruining the party there at the moment. But more importantly, it's what happens when the cash market opens. Right, that's it for this one. There's a lot going on, of course, geopolitically at the moment, without a doubt. So let's see what happens during today. Right, that's it for me. Have a great day, and as ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next.